Okay, today we continue habit number 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. So now please look at the picture here. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. The first slide it talks about the seek first to understand, then to be understood. It means seek first to understand, then to be understood. It means listen to people sincerely. I listen to other people's ideas and feelings. I try to see things from their viewpoints. I listen to others without interrupting. I am confident in voicing my ideas. I look people in the eyes when talking. I listen to others without interrupting. I raise my hand when I want to speak and I wait to be called on. I don't blurt out. I try to understand other people's views and feelings even if they are different from my own. Look here about the picture. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. This picture here is about ear. You know ear? Our ear. So before we react or we talk about something, we have to hear about something clearly, and then we reply to somebody. So it's the signs of poor listening skill. Spell out, pretender, selective, and self-centered. You see? And 7% is communicated through words, and 53% body language, and 40% tone and feeling. Listen first, talk second. See things from another's point of view before sharing your own. You listen and then we talk out. So please look at the picture. Avoid 5 poor listening styles. Number 1, spacing out. Your mind is wandering somewhere else. Number 2, pretend listening, not paying much attention to other people. Number 3, selective listening. Pay attention only the part of the conversation that interests us. Number 4, word listening. Listen only to the words, but not to be the body language and feelings or the feelings. Number 5, self-centered listening. Always bring the conversation back to your own point of view. You want to talk about yourself instead. Go genuine or genuine listening. Genuine listening is a higher form of listening which leads to real communication. To do genuine listening, do 3 things. Number 1, listen with heart, eyes, and ears. Use them to understand others. Number 2, stand in their shoes. Try to see the world as they see it and try to feel as they feel. Number 3, practice mirroring. Repeat meaning, not judge or advice. You understand their meaning? Then seek to be understood, sharing your own ideas. Seeking to be understood requires self-courage and self-confidence. Courage and confidence enable you to express your ideas and feelings. Giving feedback is an important part of seeking to be understood. Keep two things in mind as you give feedback. First, ask yourself if it's helpful to the person. Second, use I, not you. Example, I concern that or I feel that, blah blah blah. Okay? 4 levels of listening. Ignoring just when to speak, making no effort to listen. Number 2, pretending, making believe or giving the appearance you are listening. Selective listening, hearing only the part of the conversation that interests you. Attentive or active listening, paying attention and focus on what the speaker says and comparing that to your own experiences. Empathic listening, listening to understand the meaning of what is being said. Okay, for autographical responses, evaluate, either agree or disagree. Prompt, ask questions from your own frame or reference. Advise, give counsel for your own perspective. Interpret, try to figure people out. Explain their motives and behavior based on our motives. Most people listen not with the intent to understand, but with the intent to reply, dialogue of the depth. Number two, our tendencies are most entirely autobiographical. We probe, advise, interpret, and evaluate. Diagnose before prescribing. The key to influence is to the first be influenced. First, seek to understand the other person, and only then try to be understood. Stephen Conway presents this habit as the most important principle of interpersonal relations. How to listen mindfully. In a meeting or during a conversation, turn on your smartphone or computer. Don't interrupt a sentence or a thought. If you have ideas or questions, make a note of it. Stay focused on what they are saying. Don't judge or assume. Manage your triggers. Don't think about what you will say. Validate what you think they said or feel. Give them space or encouragement to correct. Ask if there is anything else. The most important communication skill you can ever learn is how to listen. Listening is actively trying to understand another human being. Healthy relationships are built on a foundation of good listening and withholding judgment. To develop win and win relationships, we must find out what the other parties want and what winning means to them. We must always try to understand what the other people want and need before we begin to outline our own objectives. We must not object, abuse, or oppose what we hear. We must listen carefully and think about it. We must try to put ourselves in the other party's shoes. Conclusions. Seeking first to understand, then to be understood is a very good habit for real and good communication. We should listen more than talk before we have two ears and one mouth. Okay, that's all for my lesson. Thank you, everyone.